So President Biden in his address reflected on his decision this summer to take his name off the Democrats' ticket, telling leaders some things are more important than power and telling them to think about the people you serve. What is your takeaway when you're facing a non-confidence vote at home and the NDP pulled from the supply and confidence agreement?
Well, listen, obviously the Conservatives are very much thinking about power right now. I'm thinking about how we can best help Canadians. I'm thinking about how to put the best balance sheet in the G7 in service of Canadians, to invest in Canadians. Confident countries invest in their citizens. Right now, Pierre Poilievre is offering cuts. He's telling Canadians that the best way to get through these difficult times is to cut services and programs that Canadians rely on, to cut investments in technologies of the future, cut investments in jobs. Confident countries invest in themselves, and what we're seeing is countries around the world are investing in Canada. Companies around the world are investing in Canada in record numbers because they have confidence in Canadians. This government is investing in Canadians because we have confidence in Canadians' ability to get through this. It's just Pierre Poilievre that doesn't want to invest in Canadians, wants to cut the services, the programs, the investments that Canadians are going to rely on to build success into the coming years. And that's what I'm going to stay focused on.
You're such a fruitcake.
Mr. Trudeau. Yeah, go Kelly.
On the Colbert show, speaking about the vote, you said you understand the Canadians are frustrated, but you're ready to keep fighting. Biden said there was also a lot more that he wanted to do, but in stepping down, he had to do what was right for Americans. Why is you being ready to fight the right direction?
I think the focus needs to remain on how we prepare and invest in Canadians for the challenging times ahead, the challenging world that we all live in that is impacted every day by geopolitical and global forces that impact on prices at the grocery store, that impact on prices at the pump, that impact on housing, impact on just about everything that Canadians are challenged with. And the need to step up with solutions, not slogans, to take seriously the challenges that Canadians are facing instead of amplifying them and causing more fear and division. Every politician has a choice about why they serve, of what they're trying to do, how they're trying to help.
What's yours?
My focus is very much, and always has been, on how to serve Canadians and build a better future. That's not what we're seeing from the Conservative Party.
Last question. International students, we've found figures that say in 2024, 12,000 international students have applied for asylum in Canada. Mark Miller's expressed concern that that could be a backdoor, an international student visa is a backdoor to apply for asylum in Canada. Are you concerned about that issue?
Yes. Quite frankly, we need to make sure that Canada continues to be a place that welcomes in people who are fleeing violence, terrorism, that no longer have protection of their state. That's what a refugee is. That's what an asylum seeker is. And we need to continue to be a place in the world that understands not just that it's a moral and appropriate thing to do to welcome in people who have no state, no protections in the country in which they currently live, but it is also good for Canada. And we have seen over the past many decades Canada thrive because of people fleeing violence and persecution. But our capacity to do that means we need to properly be able to identify who needs most help, who is there as a true asylum seeker, and use other people using the asylum path as a shortcut to gain Canadian permanent residency or citizenship is something that we need to continue to push back against. And that's why we are defending Canada's openness as a country by ensuring rigorous processes that are fair and respected. That's how Canadians will remain confident in being a country that is open to people around the world at a time where many around the world are turning backwards.
Those rigorous processes, is your government considering strengthening them, considering it is easier to get an international student visa relative to PR or other kind of visas?
Well, we've actually taken a number of steps because we saw over the past years both post-secondary education institutions and the provinces allow for a far greater number of international students than the institutions or the communities that they're part of could actually hold. And that is why we have made significant steps to make sure that both the absorption capacity of these international students in the communities in which they live is respected, but also we were seeing, unfortunately, a lot of international students being exploited in Canada instead of getting the education and the opportunities that they came to our country for. So making sure that the system is rigorous continues to be a significant priority for us.
He's
Thank you,
choking
Prime
on his
Minister.
own
That
crap.
concludes today's Strong.